Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us for the UNESCO and 17 Celebrating Youth, Creativity and Wellbeing Together event. I'm so excited to be here, and I want to hear, how excited are you as well? Round of applause. You know what? I think we could do a little bit better than that. Another round of applause. Amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to this morning. So my name is Darren Adetossier, and I'm going to be your host and moderator for today's event, which is truly shaping up to be an inspiring morning filled with powerful conversations, meaningful reflections, and of course, the opportunity to celebrate our 10 young leaders here with us in the room today. To officially kick off this event, it gives me great pleasure to welcome up onto the stage the Deputy Director General of UNESCO and Joshua, 17 member and UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for Youth, up onto the stage. So lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you both so much for joining us up onto the stage. I would now like to start off by inviting the Deputy Director General of UNESCO to deliver her opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joshua, for being here with us. I wish we had this welcome every day at UNESCO. But as I said, I am really grateful that Joshua is here and that 17 is a partner to UNESCO. It's a very valued and important partner to us. Dear colleagues, friends, audience, excellencies, Ambassador Ji-hee Kim, Permanent Delegate of the Republic of Korea to UNESCO, a special thanks and welcome to you for being here. And 17, dear Joshua, thank you for taking the time and paying attention to young people and to UNESCO together with us. So, on behalf of the Director General of UNESCO, who would have loved to be here, who is unfortunately unable to be with us today due to an emergency that happened, I would like to warmly welcome you all to UNESCO today. It's thank you. I will tell him. So it is really a pleasure to be here with so many inspiring young people. And I would like to first, again, personally thank Joshua from 17. We had a short opportunity to chat before, and I know you've been here before my time, and as I said, I heard about that visit, and we are very grateful that you continue working with us. We are very proud to count you amongst our goodwill ambassadors and to know that you share UNESCO's commitment to peace, culture and equality. And I think it's not an exaggeration to say that young people in too many countries of the world are living through turbulent times right now, and it is important to show hope, young people's leadership, and to make the statement that hopes and dreams and ambition, that's really important that we support young people in that, because you are the present and the future. Young people represent around 16% of the global population, and that is a figure that is projected to grow by a further 7% by 2030. It's a very, very important part of the global population, obviously. Also, young people, young women, men, boys and girls, are a priority group across the organization. They really are at the heart of UNESCO's work. Our goal is to ensure that their voices are heard, that needs are met, and that their leadership is recognized. And let me give you some examples of what that means in practice. Soon, for example, the World Heritage Youth Forum will take place next month already in the Republic of Korea. And we hope that will strengthen young people's skills and engagement in protecting and safeguarding natural and cultural heritage, as one example. UNESCO has a water youth strategy, which equips young people with the tools and knowledge to actively shape water governance, as a second example. I mentioned the very important issue of peace, which is at the very heart of UNESCO. And we have an initiative called the Youth for Peace, UNESCO Intercultural Leadership Program, that supports young people to become peace builders in their communities. Also, the annual UNESCO Youth Hackathon brings together young innovators to design creative, tech-enabled solutions to real-world challenges. And in January, the International Day of Education was dedicated to the power of young people as co-creators of education systems. That same spirit is now driving the consultation UNESCO is leading to shape the education agenda beyond 2030, inviting young people worldwide to define what learning should look like the decades ahead. And to achieve these results, UNESCO works very closely with youth networks across our mandate, including on information integrity, education, oceans, water, as I mentioned, the culture of peace, also nature like biosphere reserves, and also world heritage. Gender equality is also at the heart of whatever UNESCO is doing. Our collaboration with 17 is fully aligned with that mission. This was before my days, but I know that this partnership began at the UNESCO Youth Forum in November 2023, when 17 delivered a very inspiring address and performance to 170 young changemakers from around the world who were gathered here in this very room in Paris. We later deepened this partnership in June 2024 by welcoming 17 to UNESCO as Goodwill Ambassadors for Youth, and thank you again for accepting that. And building on this momentum, just 2 months later, in August 2024, we launched the UNESCO and 17 Global Youth Grant Scheme, empowering young people from around the world to bring their ideas to life with financial support, mentorship, and training. The Global Youth Grant Scheme with 17 is a testament to our commitment to build with young people, not for them. Since its launch in 2024, 100 projects have been facilitated across 64 countries, reaching over 21,000 people. Gender equality is also here a design principle. It's not an afterthought, and thus 58% of the grantees are young women, and several projects did tackle gender issues. We know that psychological well-being is an important issue for everybody, I guess, but also for young people. We also know, unfortunately, that 1 in 7 adolescents suffer from mental health issues. And the scheme focuses on how to support and foster young women and men's confidence and resilience. Some examples. In North Macedonia, hiking and guided outdoor experiences for young women have improved participants' well-being and sense of belonging. In Zambia, the grant scheme facilitated a young woman's digital safety training offered to deaf individuals to prevent digital exclusion. In Morocco, hip-hop and movement-based storytelling workshops helped young people from underprivileged communities to build teamwork, self-confidence, and leadership. Another key area of the grant scheme is the mobilization and centralization of youth in community resilience building. In Nepal, the arts are being used to teach school-aged children how to respond to earthquakes, floods, and fires. In Ecuador, the Quechua community is using knitting to strengthen social cohesion while providing economic opportunities for indigenous women. 95 other initiatives tell the same story: community resilience and progress run on youth creativity. Young people are not an afterthought, they are central to global progress. Today we celebrate these ideas, the motivation and solidarity of the young people behind every one of these 100 projects. This is, however, only the beginning. Building on what has already been achieved, UNESCO and 17 will continue to support 10 young people from the original cohort who are here with us today to help them scale and strengthen their projects and to create even greater impact in their communities in the months ahead. We are excited about what comes next. And to the grantees here with us today, thank you for your passion and your leadership. You inspire us and you demonstrate the power of young people in building a better world for all. To our partners, the member states, and all those in this room who are investing in young people, thank you for helping us build the global solutions our world really needs. And to 17, thank you for your long-standing partnership with UNESCO, your strong commitment to supporting young people, and the inspiration you bring to millions around the world. Through your music, you have helped many young people feel seen, heard, and empowered. Like your song, Together, you embody the spirit of solidarity that UNESCO promotes. So thank you for your global community of young, the Carrots, whose engagement demonstrates the powerful impact that artists can have in fostering hope and collective action. So with that, let us together celebrate the success of the young people and leaders who are advancing creativity and well-being through this program. Thank you so much.
A huge thank you, Deputy Director General. Thank you so much. And I'd now like to hand over to Joshua to deliver your remarks. Thank you.
Okay. Deputy Director General, Excellencies, distinguished guests, and inspiring young leaders, thank you so much for your warm welcome. I'm Joshua, and I'm honored to speak today on behalf of the 13 members of 17. Before anything else, I want to share that all our members truly wished that they could be here today. They are sending all their love and support to everyone in this room. Today marks 17's third visit to UNESCO Headquarters, a place where it's always meaningful. From the vibrant energy of the 2023 Youth Forum, where we celebrated youth solidarity, to the profound honor of our 2024 appointment as UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for Youth, every moment remains vivid in our memories. Upon our appointment, we shared with UNESCO a core belief that young people should be empowered to lead change. This vision also aligns closely with the UN Youth 2030 strategy, which aims to ensure that all young people, in all their diversities, are empowered as equal partners, leaders, and rights holders. Driven by this conviction, 17 proudly committed to launch a global youth grant scheme entitled Going Together for Youth Creativity and Well-Being. This initiative was designed to provide young people with resources, mentorship, and platforms to turn their ideas into meaningful actions. Deeply moved by their passion and creativity, we knew we couldn't stop there. We expanded our commitment to help scale these efforts and support an even greater impact. Supporting this journey has been deeply valuable to all of us. We are incredibly proud of everything that they have accomplished. Please join me in a warm round of applause to all the young leaders who made these achievements possible, both here with us in person and joining us online all around the world. Thank you. Beyond the numbers, what really matters are the stories. We have seen young people use music and dance for healing, art for mental well-being, and sports to build confidence. They are transforming their communities in ways we have never imagined. Two things amaze us most. First, no project was done by just one person. They came together, joined forces, and they made it happen as a team. Second, they did not need someone to tell them what to do, because they are the ones who know the challenges of their communities best. They were the ones who found the best solutions. Together, these experiences showed us that young people already have the answers to change the world. They just need someone to believe in them. At the same time, we know that creating change is never easy. It comes with moments of doubt, immense pressure, sleepless nights. And for 17, that journey feels deeply familiar. As 13 individuals sharing one dream for over a decade, we faced our own uncertainties, having to reinvent ourselves, embrace new challenges, and push beyond our limits. Through those experiences, we learned that growth is never achieved alone. It thrives on trust and belief that we are stronger together. Yet, moving as one team has never meant walking the exact same path. Through our unit and individual endeavors, each of us grows in our own way, making 17 more complete as a whole. It is for this very reason that we have promised to move forward as one team. We see this beautiful dynamic reflected in your work as well. Across different countries and cultures, each of you is pursuing a unique path. While your projects address different challenges, together, you're creating a better world for us all. So let's keep going together. Through the journey of the Global Youth Grant Scheme, we realized that there are dreams everywhere. Dreams that just need a gentle nudge, a small voice that says, "We believe in you." We want to be that small voice. As UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for Youth, we will continue to do what we do best. We will sing, we will whisper, and sometimes we will shout out to remind you that your dreams matter. They matter to you. They matter to the world. And they matter deeply to us, 17. So as we sat at our appointment ceremony, never let anyone, including yourself, belittle your dream. Wherever your journey takes you next, remember, 17 is right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. And a huge thank you, Deputy Director General. I'd now like to invite you to take your seats. Thank you both very much. So, as just highlighted there, this project has allowed so much support of our incredible young leaders. And so, as we move on, we thought it was only right to take a moment to spotlight those 100 youth-led projects. If you take a look behind me, we can see them now.
We're particularly focusing on youth mental health through community building and dance. The idea here is to focus on preventative measures that can support young people in building the mental strength to deal with difficult situations.
Porque estamos aprendiendo muchas cosas de cómo de nuestra cultura, cuidar y tener un buen futuro para los demás. Bueno, me ha parecido bien esta capacitación para todos nuestros compañeros y profesores que han estado presentes esta mañana.
Voilà, ils ont partagé aussi des espoirs qui nous ont éblouis. On ne sait pas vraiment leur dire autrement. C'était juste magnifique. Et ce travail que nous faisons tellement non.
التدريب ساعدني ان انا اعرف اكتر عن الصفات بتاعه القاده اللي كانت ممكن تكون موجوده فيا وانا ما كنتش واخده بالي منها، وتعرفت اكتر على الحاجات اللي انا ممكن او المهارات اللي انا ممكن اكون محتاجاها علشان اكون قائد مجتمعي فعال في مجتمعي.
The laughters that I see and the smiles that I see right now, those are the things I will take behind. I will take back a little bit of memory that I've created right here for all my life.
I mean, what an inspiring video, and just truly a reminder of what happens when young people are trusted, supported, and given the tools to lead. And through the UNESCO in 17 Global Youth Grant Scheme, and following the generous donation of $1 million from the Group 17, 100 youth-led projects have been able to go in and face real challenges. Challenges affecting well-being, the lack of creative opportunities, and the lives of their communities. And I think the results are clear from that video. When youth leads, impact follows. And that's the strength of this partnership between 17 and UNESCO, which is only getting stronger today. I'm so delighted to now be announcing the scale-up phase of the Global Youth Grant Scheme. This next step has been made possible through 17's continued commitment with a special charity auction in partnership with Jupiter, founded by UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador Pharrell Williams. From 100 projects, 10 outstanding grantees have been selected, and they represent such a wide range of themes, everything from education, mental health, cultural heritage, and social inclusion. And now, they're going to be taking their work even further, with additional funding, tailored mentoring, and with the opportunity to grow their impact and strengthen their sustainability. We are so pleased to have these 10 young leaders with us in the room today, because their story doesn't end here. It's going to continue right here on this very stage. So, on that note, I'm so pleased to invite up our first young leader, Arcadius Florin Muntien, up onto the stage, who is going to be sharing his journey and introduce his project on hip-hop.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. When we think about education, most of us imagine a classroom, teachers, and students secretly hoping the bell rings fast so they don't get any homework. When I think about education, I also see a cipher. For those unfamiliar with the term, a cipher is a circle in the hip-hop community. It's a space where people can join, exchange, learn from one another, create something that is bigger than themselves. And this is why hip-hop has become such an important tool in youth development. At its core, it combines two elements which are very important for every young person: creativity and structure. Yet, we have to find a balance between them when we are working with youth. Too much structure can inhibit expression. Too much creativity or freedom can leave them without any clear direction. In my own journey, I've always tried to combine these two words. I'm a PhD organizational psychologist, but I'm also a dancer and a member of the hip-hop community for over 16 years already. This is exactly what we have been building in Cluj-Napoca, Romania at Concrete Spot Youth Culture Center, a place where young people could learn essential life skills, but also artistic skills. Over the last year, with the support of UNESCO in 17, we have implemented over 260 activities, engaging hundreds of participants in the case of dance classes, community events, and skills workshops. It's very important because when young people learn a new dancing move or jump into a cipher, they are also learning resilience, building confidence. And most of all, and most importantly, they are also finding their own voice. For the next scale-up process, we will also combine breaking and contemporary dance in a way that it's immersed in an artistic experience show. Alongside this, we will also provide a short documentary for our NGO so we could share our knowledge and our shared lessons and learned lessons so we can help other communities. Today, I will show you a glimpse of the Next Phase project, a dialogue between breaking and contemporary dance. Today, please join me in welcoming my colleague on stage, Antonia.
Thank you so much, Arcadius and Antonia. I mean, wow, talk about a way to demonstrate the importance of dance. And as you'll see here today, we are going to be exploring this theme of artistic expression as a way to make real transformation and impact in young people's lives just shortly. Now, speaking of creating lasting impact, I'm so excited to transition us onto our next subject, moving on to our Youth to Youth panel. It's titled From Lessons Learned to Community Empowerment, and our young leaders are going to be exploring how young people are driving change, overcoming complex challenges, and collaborating across borders. I'm really excited to hear their insights, and I hope that you are too. And so in just a moment, we will be having Aaron Matias Salazar Rios joining us up on stage, Cherry Chen, and Nada Fayed for our stage. Onto the panel discussion now. Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Now, Aaron, I would love to start off by beginning with yourself. Could you please start off by introducing your project and tell us about the young people that you work with?
Yes, first of all, it is an honor to be here for me. Thank you all for coming. My project, Color y Coraje, attends a problem that is rarely discussed openly, that has profound historical roots, and that affects all areas of life for those who face it. From making them believe they are not enough, they are less worthy, or not capable to achieve their dreams. I'm talking about racism. We work primarily with vulnerable and rural communities in the states of Nuevo León and Oaxaca in Mexico. And for this scale-up phase, we're planning to go to Yucatan and Quintana Roo too. Our workshops are designed to break the complexities of internalized, interpersonal, and structural racism via interactive and safe spaces, using art as a tool for vital catharsis, education, and empowerment. Educational activities like empathy trees, message cloth lines, murals, and music competitions are used to help students to understand the problem, to learn how to respond to it, and to, most importantly, feel worthy and capable to achieve their dreams. At the same time, understanding better their culture and to be proud of their origins. We have reached over 500 students in Mexico, and by the end of our session, 87% of them reported to feel inspired to pursue their own goals. As Joshua said, beyond the numbers, what stays with me is the personal impact we have. In our workshops, we met students that had experienced racism but never had the word to describe to it, or who were never told that it was wrong. And at the same time, we had students who, for the very first time, feel confident and safe in their own classroom. Color y Coraje is now spreading such a message, an important message in a time where understanding and kindness is more needed than ever.
Thank you so much, Aaron. What an amazing project. And you know, I think it's just such a great example of how the arts can bring young people from all different backgrounds together. Now, I'd love to pass on to you, Cherry. Can you please tell us about your project, Heart Territory, and how you felt this work was so important to you?
Sure, thank you, Darren. So I initiated the Heart Territory project after recognizing that access to quality arts education can be limited for some rural students in China. And at the same time, there could be cases where intangible cultural heritage, or ICH for short, originated in rural areas but face the risk of being lost. So Heart Territory, with the full name Heritage Art Territory, bridges art education with cultural heritage in local communities. We help youth develop their creativity, cultural confidence, and a stronger connection to their communities. One of our co-founder, Rita, and she's in the audience now, is the inheritor of an ICH called 手指画, which means finger paintings. So you only need your fingers or any kind of paint, which provides great accessibility in even resource-limited areas. So we developed our courses mainly based on 手指画, and also incorporated other local ICHs in each of our project sites. Last year, we delivered our workshops throughout 6 rural regions across China through partnerships. And what I loved the most was seeing children feeling interested in digging more about the cultural meanings behind their symbols, enjoying creating art with their own understanding of them, and establishing meaningful connections by trying to send their artworks as gifts to their family members or even to our volunteer teachers. So I want to say thank you, UNESCO in 2017, for giving us the grant, and also connecting us with our brilliant mentor, Iris, to make this all happen. And in the scale-up phase, we'll be able to expand our impact by developing a resourceful tool to empower local teachers for sustainability as well.
So exciting. Thank you so much to Cherry. And now, Nada, I'll come to you next. Could you please share more about your project and the communities that you're impacting through it?
Yes, thank you, Darren. So my work actually began in Larish, which is a city in North Sinai, home to a historic fortress that has never been visited or even heard of by a lot of Egyptians. And although Larish Castle is an important heritage site, it has received little attention and remains largely inaccessible. So, along with Mediterranean Youth Foundation, which is the NGO I was working with at the time, we started with a community cleanup of the castle, followed by workshops on culture, identity, and belonging, training on cultural heritage and sustainable tourism, alongside creative training that allowed young people to create their own cultural products. And we were able to reach more than 482,000 people through our digital campaign, train 22 cultural heritage advocates, and mobilize 28 volunteers. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the support of UNESCO in 2017. Alongside funding, they actually supported us with mentorship and a capacity building program, while also connecting us with an inspiring network of mentors and peers. And this work has now evolved into a new initiative which we hope to implement at the Museum of Modern Egyptian Art in Cairo through an open call, workshops, co-design sessions, and pilot interventions, which will inform a policy brief that will be submitted to the Egyptian Ministry of Culture. So that's it. Thank you.
Incredible, Nada. Thank you so much. So great. Okay, so now I want to open up the discussion a little bit. I'd love it if you could reflect on just the experience and journey in implementing your projects, and also for you to have a think about the connections, because I noticed some connections with your projects there. So Aaron, I'll come to you. When listening to your peers here, what comes to you, and how do you bridge those connections for you?
Okay, so listening to the three of us, I'm struck about how different our contexts are. I mean, Mexico, China, Egypt, and yet we have so much in common. We are all using creativity and culture to deeper and to attend social issues. And my own project, I saw that we can use art to open conversations about identity or belonging. And so I am wondering, Cherry, based on your experience working this last year, how can you use cultural heritage to help children understand their background and identity?
Well, good question. Actually, many students we worked with belongs to a minority ethnicity. So in fact, they live closely to their cultural heritage all the time. However, because this is their daily life, and because they follow the same schooling system as their urban peers, they do not always recognize these cultural values. So when we explicitly name this ordinary yet critical cultural heritage out in our workshops, children are actually very engaging because they feel validated and seen. And for us, instead of feeling unprepared, we're even happier to see children to take the lead and teach us about their culture instead, either through creative art or in other forms. So for example, once after class, we see kids playing their local instruments spontaneously, and they're trying to teach their local dance to us. So moments like this inspired us, and also reminded them that instead of being an ordinary student, it is their culture that makes them truly them. Yeah. And now, Nada, I want to turn to you. So you mentioned initially that you faced some challenges when you were implementing your project last year. And I wonder, how do you learn from those initial difficulties? And what are you doing differently this time?
Thank you, Sherry, for the question. So when we first arrived in El Arish, a lot of young people were actually skeptical. They thought it was going to be another initiative that comes, takes photos, and disappears. And that kind of served as a reminder for us that one of the deepest traps that you can fall into in community work is arriving with solutions already at hand. Trying to impose tools or frameworks without first listening to the community, understanding what their needs are, or even co-designing interventions with the people they're meant to serve. So I think within these contexts, it's really important to understand that listening is not really optional, but it is integral and inseparable from the work itself. So at this point, we just stopped presenting and started listening to young people, and they started shaping the conversation and the workshops. And by the end of it, the people who were most skeptical actually ended up becoming the most engaged, which was amazing. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons that we want to use to guide our new initiative, by positioning young people as institutional co-designers rather than passive recipients or symbolic participants. And I think another thing I realized is also the importance of having the right support network or system around you. And to that, I want to ask Aaron, actually. So, looking back, what kind of support system, whether people, opportunities, or networks, that actually helped you or made the biggest difference in your success?
Well, looking back, I think Color y Coraje wouldn't have been possible without the support of UNESCO and 17, because they provided for us the foundations to turn our vision into reality. I also think that it was a collaborative effort. I was so lucky to have an incredible team along my side and the constant guidance of our UNESCO mentor, Cristina Arias. Furthermore, the engagement of the UNESCO Mexico office was a turning point for us, especially for the participation and remarks during the Going Together for Mexican Youth event. This event was in September 2025, and it was hosted by the two Mexican projects of this program. And in that event, we invited NGOs and young leaders, but of course, the presence of the UNESCO Mexico office gave us the visibility and credibility needed to connect with broader audiences and educational authorities.
Fantastic. Aaron, Cherry, Nada, thank you very much. I'd like to invite you back to your seats. Thank you. Now, what really stood out to me as they were all speaking is how much they highlighted the people in the team. You know, from the community to their peers to their network. I think it's such important points that they all made, because it really highlights the importance of it all being a group effort, and that very rarely impact is unable to be made alone. And I think I can also see that here with the Carrot community. I feel like the 17 fans that are here in the room today, yes? It's so incredible to see the community with you all. And just that connection and the encouragement and the support that you all have. It's the same spirit that I think I can see here with the UNESCO and 17 partnership and the launch of the Youth Grant Scheme, turning the idea of going together into concrete support for youth-led projects in creativity and well-being. And that seamlessly brings me on to our next speaker. Like many of the young leaders that we hear from today, Ekiate Augustus Frank began with a simple but powerful idea. She wanted to build a support system and create access to opportunities where they are so often out of reach. She is now going to be sharing her journey and reflect on what this grant scheme has meant for her and the community that she is building. So please join me in giving Ekiate a very warm welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. When I was 9 years old, my future seems to have been decided long before I was old enough to decide for myself. Not because I lacked dreams or potential, but simply because I was a girl born into difficult circumstances. At an age where I should have been focused on education and imagining my future, I was sent into domestic service. Looking back, what hurts the most is not what happened to me, but knowing that my story is not unique. Today, we have millions of young people who have their stories, their futures, shaped by poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunities, even before life gives them a chance to dream. I know this because I was one of them. But I was fortunate. One of the families I serve chose to give me a chance to grow and believe that my future could be different from my circumstances. And that chance changed my life. It enabled me to pursue an education. I became the first girl in my local community to earn both bachelor's and master's degree, and dedicating my life to creating opportunities for others. Thank you very much. Through that journey, I learned a lesson that continues to guide my work every day. Talent is everywhere. Opportunity is not. That belief led me to FACE initiative. FACE uses creative education, skill development, and storytelling to help young people, especially young women and those from underserved communities, to build better futures for themselves. Last year, with the support of UNESCO and 17, we brought FACE initiative to Akwa Ibom State, training over 200 young people while providing grants, mentorship, and internship opportunities that open up new pathways to employment and entrepreneurship. But that's not what stayed with me. What stays with me is the transformation, the impacts on each individual. It is Esther, a young domestic servant, who broke into tears after discovering the possibilities she never knew she had. It is the countless young people who, for the first time in their lives, felt that someone believed in them. I stand here on this global stage today because I got a chance. FACE exists because millions of others still haven't. The impact we witnessed in 2025 reinforced our belief that when opportunity meets talent, life changes. In 2026, while looking beyond training, we're hoping to establish first FACE Creative Hub in Akwa Ibom State, where young adults can have access to equipment, mentorship, and opportunity to build better future for themselves long after the training ends. So I want to thank UNESCO and 17 for not only providing the financial support and mentorship that made FACE a successful project, but for creating opportunities where it is needed the most. Because when we invest in a child, when we invest in a young person, we do more than invest in a person. We unlock potential, we strengthen communities, and we help build a future in which where a child is born can no longer determine what they become in life. My name is Ekaitha Augustus Frank, Project Leader, FACE Initiative. Thank you.
Wow, so powerful. So powerful, and this is exactly the kind of project that the UNESCO and 17 partnership was birthed for. Now, speaking of 17, someone told me that we've got a little message from them.
네, 세븐틴! 안녕하세요, 세븐틴입니다. 네, 세븐틴이 어느덧 유네스코 청년 친선대사로서 2주년을 맞이하게 되었습니다. 와우! 네, 그동안 유네스코와 함께 전 세계 청년들을 응원하고 지원해올 수 있었던 모든 뜻깊은 순간에 진심으로 감사드립니다.
Today we celebrate the achievement of going together for youth creativity and well-being, known as UNESCO 17 Global Youth Grant Scheme. Congratulations once again to all 100 teams and the 10 selected scale-up teams.
비록 오늘 이 자리에 함께하지는 못했지만 100개의 프로젝트가 만들어온 여정을 지켜보며 큰 감동을 받았습니다. 여러분이 이루어낸 성과가 정말 자랑스럽습니다.
창의성과 열정, 그리고 팀워크를 바탕으로 여러분은 많은 사람들에게 희망과 가능성을 보여주었습니다.
여러분의 노력과 행동으로 Going Together 캠페인은 전 세계 지역사회의 긍정적인 변화를 이끄는 뜻깊은 활동으로 성장했습니다.
각자의 자리에서 시작된 작은 변화들이 모여서 더 큰 변화를 만들어가고 있습니다. 여러분들이 이뤄낸 성과를 스스로도 자랑스럽게 생각하시길 바랍니다.
感谢大家让我们看到当年轻人获得信任并被赋能时，他们能够为所有人创造更美好的未来。
我们由衷期待看到大家的持续成长，并见证各位必将带来的深远影响。
17 will be there to support the dreams and the endeavors of the young people around the world. Let's keep going together!
Yeah! Wow! Oh, so cool. Thank you to 17 for that message. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we have a lot of artistic expression throughout the event. So we had some dancing earlier. I'm now pleased to announce that we're going to have a poetic performance. Please join me in putting your hands together for Adagio Alvinwenia, who's going to be showcasing his creativity through this incredible performance. Put your hands together.
There is time, there is seizing, and there is space. For many young people across the globe, space means freedom to dare, to dream, to reimagine, and simply to create more space. This space, conceptually situated, reflects the different priorities of young people, from creativity to well-being and leadership. But today, this space is being constrained by many, including the challenges weighing in on us. A little story time. A few years ago, I asked for space to be in the room where my future was being decided. I was denied, and that was me at age 11. 2 years ago, I asked for space, small space this time around, to reimagine the flooding challenges in my community in a way that was practical, youth-led, and creative. But I was told there was no space. In Going Together for Well-being and Creativity, I received space from UNESCO. Not like this one, a bigger one. To redefine the flooding challenges in my community. And 1, 2, 3 with 17 to lead Seeds for Change, an initiative which encourages people to better protect and care for nature. We are expanding space for young people. From reaching 315 in our pilot, we are ready to scale, scaling up with digital spaces aimed at reaching thousands of young people across the globe. And from the guidance, the mentorship, and the space granted by UNESCO, one meaning was very clear, that space changes people. It changes how young people see themselves. If space has changed who you are today, can I hear a loud roar? Yeah, let's go! Yes. And it was clear that when space exists, creativity is no longer something we wait for, it's something we practice. And even the smallest seed, once nurtured, can take root and grow. So from Ghana to the rest of the globe, Seeds for Change was a seed that truly changed how I, my community, and all of us see space. And yes, we are still navigating this space, but we remain committed in nurturing it and seeing it grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, that was just so powerful and truly highlights the importance of space. It changes everything, and it's exactly why UNESCO in 17 came together on this initiative to support people, not just financially, but also to give them the confidence and the tools to be able to turn their ideas into impact. So to all of the young people who are here in the room today, I have a message to you. Please don't be afraid to take up space. And as he just shared in his journey, if it doesn't happen the first time, keep knocking, keep going, and know that once you have arrived, the importance of opening the doors up for those behind you. And with that, we now arrive at our final moment of today's sharing of experiences, a special exchange between our 4 grantees and members of 17. I would now like to invite Anas Madad, Justine Linton, Rose Pagador, and Linda Wu to join me up onto the stage in just a moment. And I'm going to be taking a step back from my moderating duties because members of 17 are going to be asking these questions. Let's put our hands together. Up on the stage. So as I mentioned, we have a cool feature in this section where we're going to be hearing from members of 17 asking our young leaders these questions. Now, before we get into that, Anas, I would love to start off with you. Please, I'd love for you to tell us a bit more about your project and how you've been harnessing the power of hip-hop dance to empower young people from underserved communities, turning movement into a tool for confidence, emotional expression, and inclusion. And for this, Dino has a question for you.
Hi, Anas. 17 디노입니다. 음악과 퍼포먼스를 해오면서 저는 춤이야말로 자신이 누구인지를 가장 솔직하게 표현할 수 있는 방법 중 하나라고 늘 느껴왔는데요. 아직 자신의 목소리를 찾지 못한 청년들에게 힙합 댄스가 특별히 강력한 힘을 가질 수 있는 이유는 무엇이라고 생각하나요?
So what makes hip hop specifically powerful is that it's more than just a dance style. It's a culture, a language built on communities who were pushed to the margin. So they used movement, dance, rhythm, because the street was the only place that was theirs. So when we understand that origin, we understand how it connects with young people who haven't found their voices yet. Because hip-hop was always for those who felt neglected, unseen, or told that what they had to say didn't matter. And that's why we created Empowering Youth through Hip-Hop program, using hip-hop as a tool for community engagement, for creative expression, and for confidence building through mainly 3 different areas in Morocco, specifically in areas outside of major cities that lack creative, safe spaces and art education. Many of our participants have never been into a structured art program before. For a lot of them, it was their first time being at a dance workshop, their first time being told what to do with their body, their energy, and that their story had value. And through the 3 cities, what we have noticed is the same thing. People who came in guarded, quiet, unsure of themselves, walking with a different way in the way they carried themselves. So thanks to the Global Youth Grant Scheme, to UNESCO, to 17, we have reached 34 young people throughout 3 cities. We have conducted 9 different workshop days, and we have worked with different local partners in each city. But the moment that stayed with me most didn't happen inside the workshops. It was afterwards, when we'd go out in the evenings and we'd run into some of the young participants. They would come running towards us and their instructors showing us videos of moves they have been practicing since the workshop has ended and making moves of their own. And nobody told them to. No one was watching. They just couldn't stop. And for me, that says more about the power of hip-hop than anything else I could say.
That's so cool. Thank you, Anas. And if you could pass the microphone. Thank you so much. We now turn it to Justine Linton, a youth leader from Panama who combines crochet workshops with mental health education. Hi. Hi. So we also have a video message just coming up now. And someone tells me maybe it's Vernon.
Hello, Justin. I'm Vernon from 17. I've always felt that music helps enormously with expressing emotions. How do you think a creative activity like crochet can help young people understand and express what they feel inside?
Thanks for that wonderful question. I completely agree. Just like any creative activity, mirrors what is inside of you, like music. When we engage with crochet, we naturally experience a lot of emotions. For instance, you feel frustrated when a stitcher doesn't work out, or feel deeply relaxed just been doing something. And when you finally finish a piece, there is an overwhelming sense of joy and pride. Because of this, crochet becomes a powerful tool for young people who are struggling to say or identify what they're feeling. This is exactly where our mental health missions comes into place. We use the craft as a starting point to ask questions, to start conversations. How do you feel being here today? What emotions dominate you while you were working on your pieces? Do you feel satisfied with the work you're doing, or do you face frustration? Our goal is to build a safe, stigma-free sanctuary for mental health. And we have already made this in 2 communities in Turkey with 35 participants. They completed very beautiful crochet projects like hats, floral bouquets, cases, bags, hats. They also moved from recognizing basic emotions to explore deeper concepts like self-esteem, assertive communication, and meditation techniques, showing them that mental health is just as vital as physical health, and that creative activities are a self-care act.
I think that hip-hop and crochet are quite similar in ways that, just as in crochet, in hip-hop, for example, we use movement to get out of our heads, to be mindful. So how do you see it? What do you?
Yeah, you're right. I see a beautiful parallel between our words whenever it's through a full body movement in hip hop or focused movements in our hands. These repetitive physical actions allows our mind to slow down and to be present. It forces you to be focused on what is right in front of you. For example, one of our participants shared with us that whenever she felt like very overwhelmed at home, she would sit down and practice the crochet she learned at our workshops. For her, crochet became a way to find her balance again in this chaotic world. Thank you.
Thank you. I love the synergies between both of your projects. Thank you both so much. Next, I transition on to Mary Rose Pagador from the Philippines, whose work centers on storytelling, community libraries, and digital literacy, building spaces where young people not only find books, but their own voice. And do we have any guesses who this next video message is from? Let's find out.
爱 Rose 也是3的笛。对于我来说，音乐始终都是表达自我的方式，也是我力量的源泉。我很好奇，当年轻人开始担心自己的观点不够有力量，或者是害怕展示自我时，阅读与表达如何帮助他们重新找回自身的力量与自信。
Mayad nga adlaw sa inyo nga tanan. Good morning, everyone. Raka-raka gid nga salamat sa pagsuporta sa amon proyekto. Thank you very much for supporting our project. For many young people in the Philippines, the idea of a library or even borrowing a book for free remains a foreign concept, especially in rural areas like ours in the province of Iloilo, where Project Palabasa is located. Project Palabasa, meaning bookworm, aims to bridge that gap by giving children and young adults access to books written by local authors with stories of main characters who live and look like them. With these stories, the children feel they are not alone. With the stories that feature everyday life and even fantastical adventures, and they develop deep appreciation of our culture. In a world where technology is rapidly advancing, we believe that the stories are the seeds that make us human. So with these stories, it allows children to expand their own imagination and create their own ideas. one that we can see during our creative workshops, where when we ask them, they draw inspiration from the characters they meet in the books they read. And also, with these stories, we develop deep sympathy and a shared collective experience with their kasimanwa, or with their community. With this, we adults, community members, we have a shared responsibility to keep these stories alive and to be passed on to the future generations. Thanks to the UNESCO and 17 Global Youth Grant Scheme, to our partners, to our mentor, Ms. Martha, and to our supporters, we reach around 400 people, including students, teachers, parents, and community members from 3 different barangays or villages aside from ours. We have hosted storytelling sessions, creative workshops, drawing, read aloud sessions, and informative sessions, along with our reading programs. With these activities, interest in books and reading has increased, and we currently have 85 patrons who regularly checks out 20 books per day. And also with our reading programs, we saw development in our students where they develop independent reading skills and also the ability to write and create their own stories. We also helped our partner school to build their own reading corner. And with the next phase of this grand scale opportunity, we aim to reach more barangays. And we also aim to equip our community members to be storytellers and also to lead read aloud sessions with their friends, classmates, and parents, and also community members. To all of us who are listening, please remember that your voices matter. In our country, we are still currently facing learning crisis. Now, more than ever, we need collective action to address this issue. More third spaces like ours, and hopefully championing a reading culture in schools will help mitigate this crisis. No children should be left behind. So once again, to every person listening, you matter. Your voices matter. Your community matters. And you are the authors of our future. Madamo gid nga salamat.
Thank you so much, Mary Rose. And finally, we have Linda Wu from Canada, whose work focuses on addressing youth isolation through creative community programming and digital tools, building both in-person spaces and online platforms where young people can connect, express themselves, and feel seen. Who do we think is going to be up on screen next? Let's take a look.
굿모닝 린다, 세븐틴 도겸입니다. 네, 청년들이 겪는 아주 개인적인 문제인 외로움과 고립에 초점을 맞춘 프로젝트를 진행하고 계신데요. 작년에 활동을 하시면서 어떤 어려움이 있었는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 그때 얻은 경험이나 배움이 올해 더 큰 임팩트를 만들어 나가는데 어떤 원동력이 되었는지도 듣고 싶습니다.
I want to thank DK for the question, and especially the way that he asked it, because he used the word personal, and that's exactly where I want to start. I want everybody in the audience today to imagine or think of the last time that you felt truly seen. And I don't mean by being tagged in a post or liked on a story, but actually seen by someone in person, where you come into face-to-face and thought to yourself, I actually found a community here. And now imagine going weeks or even months without it. The truth is, that is the reality of many youth nowadays. And what makes it so hard to talk about is that on the outside, everything looks fine. They're active, posting, busy, but in the inside, there is a sense of disconnection. And that's what Thrive Together is born out of. We believe in the power of digital connection, and we believe that it can lead people to spaces beyond just online. And thanks to UNESCO and 17, we had the opportunity to develop a mobile app that brings people beyond their screens toward local community events. And we're using technology not as just a destination, but as a bridge. Alongside of our app development, we're also hosting in-person events. And I remember last November when we had our first palette making workshop, I didn't know what to expect. We had 7 people that showed up. And I thought to myself, is that really enough? But then I watched what happened. People sat down a little quiet, guarded, but then they picked up a brush and started painting. And I see what happened next. People started laughing, chatting to each other, and by the end of the session, people were asking when the next event is and connecting with each other. We kept going. By the end of the first phase of our project, we hosted 3 community events, reaching over 180 people through both in-person and online engagement. And we reached even more people through online. Social media presence, over 18,000 people. And we are going deeper in 2026. With the scale-up phase, we're going to partner with our therapists in our local communities to make the process of facilitating mental health through creative expression a little more intentional. We're also making a zine as well as an in-person art exhibition to give youth the platform to really showcase their voice. And none of these would be possible without the support of UNESCO and 17, who invested in us, not only our project, but us as leaders to make an impact that lasts. So I just want to say that creativity is not just about the product. It is also a broader process. And it's the thought that there's a youth out there that's going to come into one of our spaces feeling invisible and walk out feeling seen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Truly inspiring to hear about all of your projects, and I just want to thank you all again. Linda, Mary Rose, Justine, Anas. Let's give them a big round of applause, and I'd invite you to take your seats. Thank you. So there we are. We have made it to the end of the event. And as we come to a close, I'd like to just take a moment to reflect on what we've heard and some of the conversations that we've shared. We've explored some very important questions. How can the arts and creativity support young people's well-being? How can community-led initiatives help create more inclusive spaces and support youth mental health? And how can we better support young changemakers as they turn their ideas into action? Now, the reality is there are no simple answers, but together, these questions remind us of something very important. Supporting young people is not just about one solution or one moment of support. It's about empowerment, it's about trust, and it's about access. And all of these conditions have been created, which has been so wonderful to see through this partnership with UNESCO and 17. And I hope that today's event has also encouraged all of us here today, whether in this room or watching online, to help us remember the power that we have. Sometimes it starts with just recognizing an idea, encouraging a young person, or creating space for someone else to be heard. Or if you are the young leader here today, it's about knowing that your action can turn into impact. So, with deep appreciation for everyone here who has shared their stories, insights, and experiences today, let us carry this momentum forward together. And I would now like to invite back up onto the stage Deputy Director General of UNESCO and 17's Joshua, UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for Youth, to invite us to the certificate presentation of the ceremony. Thank you both so much for coming back on stage again for this exciting moment. So I would now like to invite all the grantees to join us on the stage, and then one by one, we will be going ahead and giving you your recognition certificate. So let's start off. From Canada, Linda Wu for her project, Thrive Together. Congratulations, Linda. From Ghana, Adigal Alvin Wenia for his project, Seeds for Change. Congratulations. And from Panama, Justine Linton for her project, Andres Baratas. Well done. From Morocco, Anas Madad for his project, Empowering Youth Through Hip Hop Dance. Congratulations. From China, Cherry Chen for her project, Heart Territory. And from the Philippines, Mary Rose Pagador for her project, Calabasa. From Mexico, Aaron Matias Salazar Rios for his project, Cola y Coraje. And from Egypt, Nada Fayed for her project, revitalizing modern art museums in Egypt. From Romania, Arcadius Florin Muntien for his project, Concrete Spot Youth Cultural Centre. And finally, from Nigeria, Agiate Augustus Frank for her project, Faith. A huge congratulations to everyone up on stage, and once again, another round of applause to all of our young leaders. I would now like to invite the young leaders to gather around Joshua and Deputy Director General of UNESCO for your group photo. Another round of applause to our young leaders here today. Yes, let's keep cheering them on. Let's keep going. Woo! Okay, and that's a wrap. A huge congratulations once again. I'd like to invite you back to take your seats. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. And that officially brings today's event to a close. A huge thank you for all joining us here today. A big thank you again to yourself, Joshua. A huge thank you, Deputy Director General. And thanks to you all for joining us. Bye-bye. Thank you.